We had great weather this week, and we're about halfway through the season. I'm guessing there's a lot of action out there.
Yep, full slate of games this week, tons of action, and it's great to finally feel some heat out there. And speaking of heat, the softball team continues to heat up as the weather does. They've won 7 of their last 8 and are 9-2 overall, tallying 2 wins in the games that they got to play this week. And freshman Maddie Ernst was fantastic in both of them. In their May 4th game against Salem, Maddie went the distance, giving up just 1 run on 3 hits while sending 9 witches back to the dugout by way of the K. And Maddie was just as sharp 2 nights later against Winthrop, again giving up only 1 earned run on 3 hits, but this time striking out just 3 Winthrop batters. And she got all the help she needed from the offense, who stepped to the dish ready to eat, scoring 15 runs off Winthrop's pitching. Maddie's favorite player to play catch with, Allie Capole, had a huge day at the plate, just missing the double to hit for the cycle. She went 4 for 5 with 2 singles, a triple, a 3-run homer, and 5 total RBIs. Emily Trasher and Ashley Stiles also had a good day in the box, combining to go 6 for 8 with 3 batted in. We haven't heard much from the track team the last couple of weeks, but both are up at the top of the NEC South Conference. The boys team is in first place at 5-0, picking up 3 wins this week, beating both Winthrop and Revere on April 30th. The score is Magicians 125, Winthrop 10, and Magicians 101, Revere 35. Then in their first May meet, Marblehead flew up to Danvers to take on the Falcons and won there 94-33. The girls track team also won their meet against Winthrop and Revere. They topped Winthrop by the same score as their schoolmates, 125-10, and again almost an identical score as the boys against Revere, winning 101-26. The month change was not as favorable for the girls, though. They lost their first race in May against Danvers by a tail feather, 68-66. And the loss puts the girls in a virtual 4-way tie for first place right now with Danvers, Swampscott, and Gloucester. And who do the girls get to finish off the season? Swampscott and then Gloucester. So it's going to be real interesting down the stretch. It doesn't seem to matter what month the boys lacrosse team is playing in right now. They're rolling like that Boulder and Indiana Jones, and the rest of the NEC is Indiana. Look out for the Magicians. They won all 3 of their games this week, all on the road, and they've won 6 of their last 7. They're 7-1 in the NEC and shredding nets all over the Northeast, scoring double-digit goals in all of their wins this week. On April 30th, they scored 11 times, winning at Peabody 11-8. The next night, off we go to Oswego, where we go to Winnow 10-9-0. And then finally, the Magicians ended up in Gloucester and netted the Fishermen 14 times for an 8-goal win. The girls lacrosse team had a nice week-long break between games, and what's even nicer is that it didn't seem to knock them off their rhythm at all. They had won 4 straight going into the break and started the month off strong, extending that win streak to 6 with wins over Peabody on May 1st, 11-8. And Pentucket at home on the 4th, 16-6. The girls stayed home to take on their second straight out-of-conference opponent, Manchester Essex, on May 6th, and lost a tight one, 12-11. But the standings still look good for the girls. They're 5-0 in the NEC, which is somehow second place, and they're 8-2-1 overall. The boys' tennis team is in total control of the NEC right now, sitting handsomely at 8-0. But it seems that the boys are struggling with out-of-conference competition. 8-0 in the NEC, the boys are, but 8-4 overall, including that out-of-conference play. So, of course, they get an out-of-conference opponent, Manchester Essex, to open up May, and they lose, 5-0. But a night off to regroup might be exactly what they needed. They play 3 times in the NEC in the next 3 days, and they beat Beverly 5-0, Winthrop 3-2, and then they shut out Salem at Salem most recently. The girls' tennis team struggled as well against Manchester Essex and lost close 3-2, but they bounced back with a fury, blanking 3 straight opponents with 5-0 wins. May 4th at Beverly, May 5th against Lynn Classical, and then May 6th finishing out the week by finishing off the Witches. And the baseball team is currently halfway through a 4-game road trip, but started off the week at home against Beverly with a 12-5 loss. Struggles from the mound and in the field may have lingered on the Magicians' noggins. They couldn't bounce back after the weekend off and lost on Monday, May 4th to Salem 6-4. But yes, then, finally, on Wednesday, May 6th, they got back on track, got the hits and runs they needed to beat a tough Winthrop team on the road, 12-6. And that'll do it this week for the MHS Varsity Scores on Headliner. I'm Jess Burton. John, take us home.
All right, thanks a lot, Jess. And that
John.
concludes this week's Headliner. I'm John Caswell, and on behalf of the entire news team here at MHTV, I'd like to thank you for watching. Have a good week. We'll see you next time.